I'm back. As y'all know, when I'm sitting, I'm thinking. And I'm trying to be tuned in, turned on, and tap into downloads so that I can help one, reach one, and teach one. And a lot of people really confused about spiritual awareness, spiritual connection. You see, but you have to ask yourself. See, that's how I woke up. I started asking questions. Now, I always did ask questions, but nobody had the answers. That's when they started calling me the crazy one. I don't know what I'm talking about. That don't make no sense. But when I went through my transformation, I was just speaking to myself because I was by myself. I was put by myself. That's why I had to go through the divorce to get out of that marriage, be alone. And then the person who I met that woke me up and made me come back to myself. You see, you have to understand how the spirit works. When I was forced to leave because I wasn't happy. Either I was going to stay where I wasn't happy for the things of the world, or I was going to leap out on faith, you see, and lose the spirit of fear, but I still needed to understand what it was that I needed to learn. So when I met this man after divorcing, leaving this 30-year marriage, going out there by myself, because when I left my mother, I went with this man and was with that man until I know how to be by myself. Once I divorced, I met this man. This man showed me how I was not loving myself. I was loving everything outside of myself. You see? So something has to give us a life lesson to make us go within ourselves to understand what we need to learn about ourself. Self is the God. I was not learning to love the God within myself. I was loving everything outside of myself. You see? And it was challenging the feelings that were coming up inside of me when I met this man after a divorce of 30 years. The stuff that was coming up made me look like somebody on crack for that feeling that I felt from this man. See, that's that twin flame soulmate thing that I tell y'all about, talked about. I don't talk about it a whole lot because this person doesn't desire to change. This person still want to be in the world. And when you get into those type of energies, you have to be strong in your own energy to keep on pushing and being that love that you are. And if that person is meant to come back into your life, the love will draw them. The love will attract them. See, the more I love myself, if that person is meant to be in my life, they will be drawn to me. You see? But I came to talk about, we have to look at what we're being taught by the preachers. That God, you see, that God that they gave us. First of all, the God that they gave us is outside of us. Because they keep reiterating, God is coming back again, the second coming. That's a misinterpretation. That's a lie. God is not out there. God is within. It says, seek ye the kingdom. The kingdom is you and righteousness. So if you're seeking you, you're seeking God, because God is all. God is everything, as above, so below. He created it all. So the life force energy is God. The source is God, and without that source inside of us, we don't have life. So with them telling us this God is coming back, it unconsciously, you see, and by them taking God out of the tomb. So I need you to think, you need to expand your belief system. If you don't want to change it, expand it. Okay, so if they murdered him, crucified God on the cross, and put God in a tombstone, and then they say 3 days later he wasn't there. See, that's an unconscious, indirectly programming that God could get up out of there. See, only a human being can get up and do something. You get what I'm saying? So it's an indirect teaching, but it's not a direct teaching, because if you're dead, you can't get up. Who you know died got up? You get what I'm saying? So we teach directly and indirectly because it is called projection of a thought, predictive programming. So if they got you thinking Jesus got out of this tombstone, unconsciously people think Jesus just going to walk back up into their life on 2 feet. Because they keep talking about Jesus as if Jesus is a human being, but Jesus is a spirit. I mean, in the beginning of the Bible, it says Jesus was a spirit. It never said nothing about Jesus being a man. You see? But they don't reiterate these things so that you can see them close up and personal. They reiterate the things that programs your mind, but they don't reiterate the things that empowers your mind. You see? If they would just tell us we are God, God is us, we are one, that God is love, that we should be loving people, that we should love others, simple things like that. That if you see somebody struggling and you got something to spare, you're supposed to help them. If they would do simple things like that, the world would not be this way. But they are making you put that money in their pants for them by telling you robbing God. You see, guilt. They're projecting guilt onto you. You don't want to offend God. You see? So you're going to do what pastor said to do, because pastor said he is doing it in the name of God. Well, why can't everybody do something in the name of God? You see what I'm saying? We all have the power to do it. If everybody doing everything in the name of God, this world should be godly. You see? They're not teaching you to do things in the name of God. They're not teaching you to be godly. They're not teaching you to say what God would say. They're not even doing that. They're saying, I'm the interpreter. I'm the narrator. And you must get this from me and only me. You can't get it from nowhere else. That's where the problem coming in. These preachers are not teaching you to seek yourself, to read the Bible for yourself if that's what you choose to do, so that the Holy Spirit can speak to you and only you, because what you have to learn in this life spiritually, for the people in the back, what you got to learn spiritually, it's only for you to learn. It's not for everybody to learn. Why must we all be in that same space? Why don't they teach us to just how to connect with God every day, all day, any day? Why must we go into that space every Sunday to connect with God? Why can't we connect with God any time of the day? Why aren't they teaching that? Y'all got to start asking questions. God said that people like me will be hated. But nobody's hating preachers. Why do they hate me who speak the truth? Me who trying to get us together. Get us to start loving each other. Get us to stop hurting each other. Why you hating people like that? See, people not in the present moment. That's why they're doing that. Because they're not aware. You have to be present to be aware of your behaviors, of your patterns, of your programmings, of your pathology. If you are distracted, you cannot be aware because you're distracted. You have taken your energy and broken it up. It's everywhere. But to be one, to be present, mind, heart in alignment, and spirit, you have to be present. So they keep giving you something. Why don't they tell you how to go get it yourself? We have to ask the questions. Why don't they teach love? Love, love. Because all there is love. Why don't these preachers and school teachers teach love? Why don't the government teach love? We gotta ask that question. The preachers are not teaching love. The school is not teaching love. The government is not teaching love. Why is that? If God is love, you gotta ask that question. That's all should be taught right now, especially in these times. Togetherness, loving on each other, helping each other, supporting each other.